Wicked Witch! Death unto you. Oh, that's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. I don't think that Jill is necessarily in the wrong here. Caught in 4K. That is you. Cancelled. Hello, guys. We're back with Dance Mums. Woohoo! We're in LA and we're on season 5, episode 15, which I think means we're halfway through season 5 officially, guys, which means we're on a slippery slope to the end of the show, guys. A very, very slippery slope indeed. So make sure to be liking, make sure to be commenting, and make sure to be subscribing. And we are on our way to 8,000 subscribers. We need your help to get there. There is not that much time left, guys, and we have to get there. Please, please, I need 8,000 by the end of the year. But anyway, we're going to be getting into the episode right now. But before we do, we've got a pyramid, and it's a juicy one. It's not that juicy, I lied to you. This, I don't know what this looks like. It kind of looks like a cross. It kind of looks like if you put Abby up there, she'd be like, I'm Jesus. But anyway, we are going to start right at the bottom, and it is Abby, of course. I mean, there were just a couple of moments in the last episode that frustrated me. Can't think of them off the top of my head, but they're probably there. She was probably just annoying. Oh, it was the whole contract bullshit. Obviously, she's trying to con Jill in some way, shape or form. She's trying to have exclusive rights over it, steal all the money from it. Kendall gets diddly squat, but she gets to utilize Kendall's skills and talents, and I just feel like the whole thing is incredibly shady. And speaking of incredibly shady, how are you not seeing that it's incredibly shady, Jill? How are you not seeing the whole, oh, you don't need to worry about a contract? Yes, I do. Yes, I do need to see a contract before this can even go ahead. I know that you're desperate for your child to be famous, but equally, we've got to protect her and her rights, you know. We can't just be forcing her into these situations, because that's how we end up with certain Hollywood scandals, okay? So let's just think about this, okay, Jill? Let's just think about it. Anyway, up next, we have Melissa, and Melissa is... she's there. She's just existing at the moment, and she's kind of neutral to me at the moment. Not really much going on. The next ones up are Tweedledum and Tweedledee. We've got Kira, and we've also got Jesselyn. I mean, these two are like partners in crime in terms of the way that they tackle people. The two-pronged attack on Jill was actually very, very entertaining, led by their mafia boss, Holly. And I have to say, I really like this trio. I think that it's a very interesting group, a very interesting mix of eclectic people, and I think that they're definitely going to be causing some chaos throughout the coming episodes, so that is very, very exciting. But anyway, up next we have the 4 members of the Spice Girls that didn't perform last week because it wasn't the Spice Girls, because that was the week before. We have Jojo, we have Kalani, we have Mackenzie, and we have Maddie. God, it's really difficult to remember people's names. I tell you, I have so many people's names stored up in my subconscious that I just sometimes look at people and go, you could be a John, or you could be a Jamie, or you could even be an Angelina. I literally don't know. I don't know who you could be. But anyway, these 4 did exceptionally well in the dance group competition. I was impressed with them. They came first. Their first win in LA. But this week, they're going to have to dance better because they're going up against that other team that is very, very good. But anyway, on top of the pyramid, in second place, is Nia. And that means that Kendall is on top of the pyramid for a first place win. Congratulations. Nia did come third, and I thought that her dance was good, but I did think that Kendall had the better dance. That pirouette section was just absolutely bloody sublime. Absolutely bloody gorgeous, if you ask me. Also, guys, I was thinking, like, Abby Lee Miller. You got Abby Lee Miller. Flip it around. Wicked Witch. I got you there. I've just thought this is going to be incredibly out of date by the time that joke comes out. Are we still talking about Wicked Witch? Are we still talking about Madam Horrible MM flipping around Wicked Witch? Are we still doing that joke? Because I've recorded this like a good week before it's meant to come out. Maybe it's not funny anymore, guys. Maybe it's not funny.
So this should be a good pyramid. I thought it was a great weekend. Great weekend. It was a good week. It was a good start to LA.
Nah, she's going to have something to say. This witch is going to have something to say about one of these kids, Nia. and it's just going to be the worst thing you've ever seen in your whole life. How dare you come third? I'm not naming names, Nia. And potentially Mackenzie, because apparently she competed to solo as well and came third. Crazy week last week. The only person that won was the group and Kendall. So, hey, here we go.
Well, I have something to share to you guys. Which I'm sad will be visiting us this week. Wait, who is that?
Somebody's going to be visiting them? What? The ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future? Which reminds me, guys, we are coming up on Christmas, which means the Mayan Raged Awards are starting, guys. Yes! Woo, 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 woo. Yay, that's so amazing. I love this. Effectively, across all my videos, there will be a link down in the description to a Google Forms where you can submit your nominations for the awards. There will be categories such as best video, best moment, and please, for the love of God, send me like a YouTube link and a timestamp, because if I don't have that, how am I meant to know what you're doing? Do you know what I mean? And then I will pick the most popular ones, or the ones that I think are the best, and I will put them into another Google Docs later on in the season, probably mid-December, and then we will vote for who you think will be the winner. And then in January, we will have the first annual Mayan Raged Awards ceremony live on stream. So you got that to look forward to, guys. But either way, thank you, guys. That is my little PSA. Let's go.
She's bringing her studio this weekend.
We can't wait to go up against the ALDC again this weekend. We're ready to kick some Pittsburgh booty.
Them's are fighting words. Them's are fighting words. She's got her fisticuffs up and she's ready to get a fighting. That is crazy. Erin Babs on social media. I'm gonna fight the ALDC. Yeah, you're crazy for that. Absolutely crazy.
Hey Kendall, are you excited about doing a music video? I don't know, I haven't really experienced anything like this.
Who's got the gun to these girls' heads making them read out lines? Do you know what I mean? Oh, Kendall, are you excited for the music video? No, I don't really know what to expect. I've never experienced something like this before. Okay, guys, we literally just had an acting workshop. We just had an acting workshop and you're delivering this. This is poor performance, okay? Kendall, I love you to pieces, but like, can we inject a little bit of emotion into your singing? Left, right, strike a pose. Yeah. Come on. Come on. This is what I mean by not everybody should sing. Not everybody should sing, not everyone should perform. Because there's a lot of artists out there currently that just don't perform. Their songs are just like background music to me. And we had this conversation last time, and I'm yet to see the fallout from all that, because I called out some specific artists as well. But yeah, it's just the kind of music that comes on in a club and you go, what's this? I don't know, it's just noise, isn't it? That's the kind of vibe I get from it. It's not something that I can sing along to, because it's not fun to sing along to.
It comes down to the tour jeté, the leg hold. If you don't fix them now, the older you get, the more difficult it will be.
This is another problem with me not being able to do the moves and also not knowing the proper technique, because I thought they looked quite good. I think that obviously they looked a bit rushed, but I think that's because your choreography doesn't allow them to breathe. She's up in a leg hold for like 2 seconds because she's got to move on to the next bit of choreography. She's not able to let it breathe up and then breathe back down again. It just is too rushed, and I think that's your fault.
Next, JoJo. JoJo, it was a quiet week for you. I really didn't hear your mouth. That's a good thing.
JoJo, you're on the bottom of the pyramid, but you're at the top of the bottom of the pyramid because I didn't hear you talk last week. You weren't pissing me off as you usually were. So you know what? That's a positive. We go for that.
But we both know it all goes back to the technique.
Your supporting leg, I really need to pull up on that thigh, stretch those knees.
It's very interesting how the editors used a clip from when they were last in LA at that competition. Am I wrong? Have I got that wrong? It definitely wasn't from that competition last week. It was from the previous time that they did the whole critique set competition thing. So I wonder why they've used that now. That seems very odd for this. Yeah, I'm a bit confused.
We had been invited to fifth quarter fashion show event, and Kalani has chosen to stay
Here.
Yes.
They got invited to a fashion show, and Kalani was like, "Oh, I'd rather dance with Abby." Yeah, I believe that. I believe that 100%.
And at the top of the pyramid is Kendall.
I just know that Jill creamed herself just then. Just creamed her jeans. She was like, "Ah, yes, fantastic. She's top of the pyramid. All of my ass kissing has paid off. I can cancel the massages. Beautiful."
So I think I'm gonna maybe use the other girls as my PAs and maybe you moms too.
Abby, Nia's video will be next week, so rather than being a PA, it would be a good use of her time to prep for her video. I mean, she has things to do, so.
All right, I won't count on Nia.
Oh, this already feels incredibly awkward. Because Abby doesn't have control over Nia's music video. That's why this whole thing is spiraling out of control with Holly and Nia at the moment, is because Abby doesn't have control. And as we know, she's a control freak. Well, she's just a freak in general, but she's also a control freak.
All right, my first solo is going to Kalani. Maddie, you will also be performing a solo. The two of you are going up against each other.
Are they going up against each other? Are they not in like two separate categories? Or am I making that up? Am I making it up that Kalani's going to be in the like teen category and Maddie's still in the junior category? So they're technically not going up against each other? Is this just editing to make Kalani and Maddie look bad? I don't really know, guys. I don't really know. Or is it the fact that it doesn't matter if they're in different categories because when it comes to the overalls, one of them will beat the other? I guess that's what the idea is, right?
And I'm very proud to announce that Maddie will be performing for the television show Ellen.
It's just not something that you brag about, is it? Oh, I made it onto Ellen. Yeah, there was a kid that picked his own teeth out that got onto Ellen. Like, it's not that big an achievement. No, I'm joking. I am taking the absolute piss. But what I was going more down the line of is not something you brag about being on Ellen because disgraced former host Ellen. That's where I was going. But yeah, so she's allowed to take off an entire day to go perform a TV show, but Nia's trying to shoot her music video and it's like, ah, death unto you.
Maddie, keep your back straight. If I'm going to attract the caliber of students that I want when I open in LA, then we have to beat the other dance studio.
Am I the only one that's getting the vibe that Maddie has not lost some of her technique, but because she's been doing Chandelier and all of these sort of like artsy dance styles, that she's just not fully in the zone when it comes to this style of dancing? Because I'm noticing a lot more critiques on Maddie now, and I'm wondering whether that's because, and Abby even said it earlier, like, you've been doing a lot of dancing, but have you forgotten your technique? She said it earlier, like something along those lines. So I think that's an interesting thing to like pay attention to now, because even then Abby just called her out for her back, and like 2 seasons ago, or even last season, she wouldn't have been called out for that. So that's just an interesting observation that I'm making.
Because Abby, she's promoting it. She's excited about it. Why is that? There's no need to be on a mission to make Kendall's video better than Nia's. They're two separate entities, kids' experiences.
I agree with you, Holly. But you're trying to rationalize an unrationalizable situation from Abby. Do you know what I mean? Abby is going to obviously try and make Kendall's video better than Nia's because she's not a part of Nia's video. So therefore she's going to do everything she can to make Kendall's video better. And you should have expected that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you should expect her to take that step in order to push Kendall forward, because that's Abby's self-made pop star again, Kendall K. It's like, come on, do you know what I mean? Would it be Kendall K? It'd be Kendall V, wouldn't it? Ken V? No, that doesn't really work. My little Kendall. Oh, I missed the Kendall jokes. I forgot about them. It's been a while since I've made a Kendall joke.
For her to do her own project on her own, it's kind of like I'm out for a vengeance. I'm out to compete. I'm out to be better than that.
Caught in 4K. that is you, cancelled. Why do you have to feel the need to make one better than the other? Why can't you just make yours as good as it possibly can be without it needing to be better than somebody else's? Do you know what I mean? It just feels toxic, it feels petty, and I think it's going to end up holding it back. Do you know what I mean? And also, why are you saying all of this to Kendall? Kendall doesn't want to know that you're out for revenge against one of her friends. It's not a very nice thing to hear from your dance teacher, and it's not something nice that you're going to have to carry with you because it's clear that Abby doesn't want you to go back and tell them. Do you know what I mean? It's the classic adult telling a child to keep something a secret when it's actually not going to stay a secret, and all you're doing is putting the fear of God into the kid that if they leak this secret, then something bad's going to happen. I mean, there's a difference between telling a child that you're out for revenge against somebody and telling a child, shh, don't tell mummy I took the biscuits. Do you know what I mean?
You have to prove that LA is too tough for her. She's really out of her league. We cannot lose. We will not lose.
I love the fact that everybody hates the ALDC. They don't actually hate the ALDC. I think they actually probably like the kids in it. They just hate Abby because Abby is the most obnoxious person you have ever met. Like, she's the best TV villain in reality TV show history. I mean, who else would you put up there with her? Do you know what I mean? Who else would you put up there?
Our dance passing through time is about all of the glitz and the glam of Hollywood. What is that message you are conveying to me, guys? Let's go. Pick it up.
So when I've taught people in the past dance, or when I've been teaching them like how to sing and things like that, or like other things, acting, things like that, when they are performing, it depends on the tone that you're calling things out. And Erin just proved exactly the difference between her and Abby. Abby will scream at you and bark orders at you and say horrible things, whereas Erin's trying to do it constructively. What is the message? I can't see you doing this. Come on, we gotta do this, etc. Me, usually, my go-to is, I can't hear you singing. Sing louder. That's my go-to. And it's just the things that you say and how you say it that really makes a difference and will make kids either appreciate the feedback that you're giving them while they're performing or make them scared to perform in front of you. And I think it's a very fine line to balance, but Erin definitely seems to ride that line extremely well, and I appreciate that.
Last night, Jill and Melissa took Kendall, Maddie, and Mackenzie to hang out with Todrick. And Todrick is a great director, producer, internet sensation.
Y'all know my feelings on Todrick. I do not rate the man. I do not rate the man in the slightest. I just get incredibly bad vibes off of him. And it's ever since, I can't even remember what the exact instance was because I was binge watching it and all the seasons blurred into one at that point. But there was a moment on Drag Race where he'd been like the choreographer for like numerous seasons in a row. And there was something that he said to one of the queens that just made me go, you're a nasty bit of work and I don't like you. And ever since, all I've heard is just bad things about him. He was in the Celebrity Big Brother house in the US and he was apparently just an arsehole in there. And then he came over to do burlesque here and there was so many things wrong with that production because apparently between it moving from Manchester to London, it had apparently all of the director, writer, choreographer, all of those people had dropped out. Like the stage manager, all of them had dropped out and he was having to fill in all of them roles for the London production. And it just felt like they'd had a falling out with him or something like that. So I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. Do you know what I mean? There's something up with this guy. And I just get the impression that he thinks he's better than everybody else. And I think that's one of my main issues with him. So, sorry, Todrick, you're just not my kind of person, sadly. But then again, who am I? Do you know what I mean? Well, I'm just a guy who sits in his room and chats. You've got a successful career, so don't take anything I say seriously.
Nia saw the Instagram post and she's like, wait a second, what's this? And she puts up a lot of garbage of Abby. Cried herself to sleep last night.
Half of me is like, but JoJo and Kalani weren't invited, so why would Nia expect her to be invited? But equally, the other half of me is like, well, Nia's an OG member of the team and clearly has earned her stripes more than Kalani and JoJo, so therefore, and she's also worked with Todrick before as well, on that music video. The one where they were dressed as Disney villains or something, I don't know. But yeah, they have worked together before, so yeah, I can see it from both like sides of like, why is she crying? But also I understand why she's crying. So yeah, tough one. I feel bad for Nia. Nia doesn't deserve this.
Jill's just happy that Abby's paying attention to Kendall now as much as she is Maddie, and of course you're not going to bring anyone else along or try to include anyone else.
Well,
like,
you guys
it's
can
obvious.
spin it any way you want.
I think I'm going to defend Jill in this instant. I have to say, if the story is as it says, and all Jill did was drive Kendall to go see Abby, and she didn't know what it was about, or she knew it was for Todrick, but she didn't know who else was invited, etc., etc., then I don't think that Jill is necessarily in the wrong here. If it is what she's saying, and she did just drop Kendall off to be with Abby, then fair and valid, whatever. But if it was a conscious, oh, I know that Maddie, Mackenzie, and and Kendall are the only ones going, then I can understand why the parents would be upset, because it's a bit like, well, you knew that people were being excluded, and yet you still decided to sort of benefit from this situation. But I think that Jill didn't know, and from her reaction she didn't, so I feel like the mums are being a little bit unfair towards her at the moment. I didn't feel like I'd be defending Jill in this moment, but I think I am.
You know what else you missed? Last night when my kid cried herself to sleep.
I missed that,
Chris,
Holly.
you missed that.
But you're
That
the one-
poor Nia cried herself to sleep.
I can't even back Holly in this moment, because I don't understand how that is Jill's fault. How is this Jill's fault? This feels like I can't broach this subject with Abby, so I'm taking it out on the next person in my view, which is Jill. Okay? But if Jill is saying what she said, and she just dropped her kid off at this place to be with Abby because that's all the information that she had, then Jill is not the person that you should be arguing with. It is Abby. And it just feels incredibly wrong for you to be taking this stance, Holly. I'm very disappointed. I understand that your daughter was upset and cried herself to sleep. Fair and valid. Have your feelings. But you're having a go at the complete wrong person.
You always want to point the finger at everybody else but yourself.
I didn't do anything wrong.
You're responsible.
Why? What have we gained from that situation? The way that Jill dealt with that on the way out, I disagree with. I don't think it's Holly's fault either. Holly is directing her anger and her pain at the wrong person, yes. But saying that it's her fault that Neil wasn't invited, I feel like that's complete and utter bullshit, personally, Jill. But then again, I don't know how much of this has been edited to put together to make it look bad on both parties. I don't know. So maybe there is other extenuating circumstances that I don't know about. But from what I've seen, I don't feel like Jill is in the wrong in this situation.
Right foot.
Oh. Huh. Abby's foot left the ground, so I'm thinking this might be an opportunity to tick off on your bingo list the fact that Abby's been dancing. Congratulations, guys.
I don't know. I feel a little bit overshadowed with Nia's music and
What?
her video, and it's almost unfortunate that they're both happening at the same time because I feel like it
how Nia's
should.
video could overshadow you.
Yeah, what are you talking about, Jill, with Nia's music videos overshadowing you? All I've heard of you talk about is Kendall's music video. Whereas Holly's been keeping it humble, she's been keeping it on the D-low. She hasn't been talking that much about it. And now you're like, oh, it's overshadowing me. What?
I say we stick together. We're a united front. We all love each other. We're all friends. Like, let's have a good weekend.
Yeah, something's telling me that's not going to happen. Something's telling me we're not going to be a united front this weekend. I wonder what that could be. I wonder what could possibly be giving me that impression.
Here comes the good news. You got the building!
Oh, she got the building. Yay. I don't know how I feel about this, guys. I'm going to miss our studio in Pittsburgh. That's like the iconic one. I'm going to miss it. I don't want to go to this new place. This new place is boring. I like our shitty little studio in Pittsburgh. I've grown used to it. I don't want to get used to this new studio. What are we doing here, guys?
Did you see them? MDP.
There were negative tweets and negative things on social media.
Well, you gotta lay off the social media, Joe. Maybe you shouldn't have an account if you can't handle it.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, fair play, Abby. Fair play. That was a good moment from you, I can't lie. You've not actually been a dickhead this episode. Now, you did have that conversation with Kendall that was a bit dickhead, is she? Okay, you've not been that much of a dickhead.
Once upon a time is how the fairy tales go, and rainbows reach out to a pot of gold. Dreams come true, oh yes they do, when you believe in the magic in you. Dreams come true every day.
Oh, still going. All right. Okay, what am I going to say about this? What am I going to say about this? What am I going to say about this? I think at the moment when I believe it should have ended, I think it was a 10 out of 10. I don't think there was anything wrong with it. And then when she was like, I'm done with my dance, just joking, I'm about to do a bit that I think cheapens the dance. I thought it cheapened the dance a little bit. It got a little bit faster. I feel like the movements got a little bit more, not messy, but the choreography got a little bit more rushed, I feel like. And the bit before was so beautiful, and I feel like it should have just ended there. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't love the last third of that dance. I think it was just a little bit too rushed, a little bit too messy. Her lines weren't complete, and it was just, yeah, not amazing. So I think I would have to give it like an 8. It, like I said, it was getting a 10, but then I just didn't like that last third. And I think it just did drag down the performance a little bit. It also felt like with that last third, we were kind of just throwing everything but the kitchen sink in. And I feel like you can have a good dance without putting every single little bit of technical precision in. I wanted to like it and I was fully ready to love it, but then it just kept going and I was like, oh no, stop, please stop dancing. Which I think is a curse of watching the full dance sometimes. I feel like I might not have had that opinion if I'd have watched the edited down version, but hey, you guys want me to watch the full version when I can, so I'm gonna watch it when I can. Oh, but it's just taking too long. First of all, that was 100% dubbed music because she was not dancing to the music that I was listening to. So I feel it's unfair for me to give her a valid critique based on the timing of the dancing because it felt all over the place, but I think that's because it's dubbed music. Now, this dance, in places, I think exposed how boring of a choreographer Abby actually is, because there were some exciting moments in this and moves that I don't think Abby has in her repertoire to choreograph. But there were other moments, like the leg hold section into the preparation for the pirouette, that just felt like we slowed down to an absolute crawl. And I was like, what are we doing here, guys? That all the momentum you've been building up until that point has just been absolutely lost because you took too long to get into the leg hold and you also took too long to prepare for the pirouettes. So I don't know what was going on there. I think I'd give this like a 7. I think the way that she was described didn't quite live up to what I watched on stage. And maybe she had a bad performance, who knows, but I just personally didn't enjoy it that much. I felt like this had a strong story. I understood what was going on, that she was Mother Nature and that she was sort of like feeling the plants or whatever, but like it was nice in that respect. But there were just certain moments where I was like, oh, your body went in a very uncomfortable position there, and that did not look correct. That just made me go, maybe this wasn't correct. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I feel like Maddie has her beat. Nice, that was so good. The only thing that is stopping her from getting a 10 in this performance is the fact that I feel like she only used her facial expressions when she was supposed to. The rest of the time I was watching her face because I was like, yeah, her legs are doing whatever. Her legs are gorgeous. But her face, I saw, was just a little bit nondescript while she was doing some of the more difficult moves. And then she'd have a moment that would spotlight her face. And I was like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing the emotion. But I want that threaded more throughout. It's something that Maddie does do exceptionally well. She keeps her facial expressions constant throughout, which is nice. And I just want Kalani to get a little bit better at that. Because that is what's stopping this from being like an incredible dance, because it was brilliant. She makes awkward bodily positions look completely natural, and that is the biggest compliment that I can give her, because Abby choreographed some awful body positions for you to get into, but she just slides through it. Like sometimes you can see where they're kind of cheating it because their leg doesn't quite go that way, or like their hips don't rotate that way. Her hips rotate any which way they make her do, and it's just incredible to watch, if you ask me.
Lock the knee and don't sit back in the heel. If I tell you something and you turn around and say, I heard, one of those helicopters will be chopping your head off.
It's like, okay, fine by me. Literally fine by me. I'm absolutely okay with that. You chop my head off. I don't even want to be here. Also, these costumes, bloody gorgeous. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Love it.
Can you tell what the devil said when he turned down your prayer? Can you feel what the mother felt when she let away? You can shut your what you're looking for, but it's not here anymore. Your love is wasted in 1,000 ways, and it's a garden of good and evil where we stay. Can you tell what the devil said when he turned down your prayer?
I have to hand it to them. That was a bloody good dance. That was a bloody good dance. That was, yeah, fair game. I have no notes. I have absolutely no notes. I really thoroughly enjoyed that. They were all in sync from what I was able to see. I think there were very few moments where I noticed someone slightly out of sync, but it didn't impact the dance for me. So yeah, wow, what a dance. What a great dance. Just the simplicity of the music in the background as well. Just yummy. Just, yeah, more of this, please. More of this. Great costumes, great attitude, great performance, great dance. Damn, Abby came to play this series. Abby came to play this time in LA. This has been 2 good dances in a row.
Do you ever feel you're twisted back?
Again, I don't have any notes. Erin came to play as well. Damn, we got 2 players in the building today. We got Erin versus Abby. Damn, both of them absolutely knocked it out of the park. I mean, this was just stunning. Pure stunography. Just, wow. Guys, I'm at a loss for words. I don't really know what to say because it was just so good. I want this every week. Come on. What do I even say? Literally, guys, I've got nothing. Nothing in my mind. Nothing in the tank. I have no idea what's going on. Could not tell you in the slightest.
At number 28, Innocent.
Okay, it's becoming a joke now. It's becoming a joke. What do you mean Kalani was below Maddie? What are we doing here, guys? What are we doing here? Kalani had the better dance. Very clearly had the better dance. Ah, yeah, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm going to have people coming for me in the comment section going, no, Maddie's was the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen in the whole world. And I'm going to be like, listen, my opinion is my opinion. Listen, you're not going to change my mind.
At number 76, The Rose Garden.
The Rose Garden was absolutely gorgeous, I have to say. I also think that, like, Passing Through Time deserves second place, not third. That's ridiculous. It was a gorgeous dance. But it just goes to show the caliber of talent at this kind of competition, innit?
Abby is out schmoozing the judges as if they're best friends. And I would like to just be able to compete on an even playing field.
That's interesting. Why were you schmoozing with the judges in the corridor? Do you know them, Abby? Were they doing you a favour? Is that what happened here? Very interesting.
There was a number in between. Not only did we kick their butts, someone else did.
You guys have been doing the same routine for 5 years.
We don't do the same routine.
I probably wouldn't say that, but I mean, the girls have come out and said many times that it was the same choreography with the same 5 steps in a different order every single week. So it's kind of like saying that yogurt is different from butter. They've got the same ingredients, they're just packaged differently. Do you know what I mean?
Our kids win because of that lady and their technique.
They win despite this lady.
They win because of that.
No, I completely agree. They win despite of that lady. Because that lady tries to set them up with shit choreography all the time and they still manage to win somehow.
They don't care.
It wasn't a contest until Holly just made it one. Don't throw it in my face.
My child has one day and a moment. Leave me alone.
Oh, I have a feeling next episode is going to be a 2-parter, you know, guys. I have a feeling there looks like there's juicy drama in the next episode that we need to analyse and we need to discuss. But today, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed and liked the video. Make sure to vote for your nominations to be seen on the ballot box when we do it later on this month. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be. But until then, make sure to keep on ranting, and I'll see you guys later. Bye now. See ya.